in hard mode. We're on episode 28. The plan for today will be to go ahead and get that error out. No, I guess it didn't. Alright, anyways, the plan for today's stream is going to be to go ahead and continue in Backdoor. We're going to hopefully get through Rowan, Willin, Gabe, and maybe even Blaze today. The plan will be the first ones, but yeah. Hello, York. Honestly, because we are going to be doing Willin, we might as well start him now. It's going to be actually probably one of the longer quest lines that we have to do today. Just based off what his quests are compared to like Rowan, which is going to be mainly grinding ghosts. So might as well start him early. There we go. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe because I haven't streamed in a while, because I've been sick or whatever, that just decided to drop pushing out all these updates to people. I mean, yeah, I haven't streamed in a while, so it's kind of scuffed. 97. All right. That being said. Oh, yeah, okay, really quick, guys. There was an update, in the last update, there was one quest added to Gabe. So technically speaking, we need to go finish up main hub really quick, since that's no longer complete. I kind of forgot about that. It won't take us too long. We literally have to do 3 things, so, not going to be too big of a deal. This is one of those things I was just kind of added last update, so don't complain too much about, forgetting him when I went through main hub. It is quite literally just something new added. Anyways, there is that one, there's that find item done, and one more find item, and we are done with Gabe. Yeah, RNG games, like, okay, here's the thing about RNG. If you do it enough, you'll both have moments where you get really unlucky and really lucky, and it's pain because in like the long scheme of things, you're almost better off just getting the average luck, but it feels a lot better when you get lucky well, it depends on who you are. Some people, when they get really lucky, they'll remember that a lot more than if they get really unlucky. Like that's actually something that is biological. I mean, I think stuff when it happens is bad, you'll notice a lot more, but since, you know, it's actually rare to get like the lucky moments for some reason. Anyways, there's a lot of different there's a lot of different ways to look at it. And in like the end, it's like one of those things where like people like the gamble aspect of RNG, and it's not good because it's kind of annoying as a player sometimes. But you like to be able to get really lucky. You like the opportunity to look at this classified rarity thing and be like, what if I get that first try? I'm sure, okay, I know I have had this thought a lot, where it's like, oh yeah, what if I did get that first try? That would be so cool, wouldn't it? And obviously it almost never does. But if it did happen, just imagine how excited you'd be about that forever. Yeah, I mean, the thing is, a lot of, like, a lot of chances and stuff, especially for, like, other unboxing simulators, you have so many random luck multipliers. Like, you'll have, 2 times, luck events, you'll have times 10 luck events, you'll have times 3 in the game, luck modifiers that you can buy. You'll have all these luck multipliers that actually affect it a lot. Whereas with Ghost Simulator, you have like 4 different things. And like some of them are better than others, like 2 times luck is broken, 3 times luck from gum is pretty good. But like the other 2 are kind of just meh in some respects, because they are just additive. But yeah. Yeah, no, I definitely understand that sometimes, like, your luck in one game is a lot better than your luck in another game. And it just, like, it feels bad sometimes. I know when I've played some games, it's one of those things where I don't worry too much about it, and then sometimes I get really lucky with when I'm not worrying about it, and it's like, guess I'll play this game. But yeah, for now, I will be continuing to go ahead and work on... Yeah, this is still kind of broken. I thought I fixed this. It's not that bad. Did I fix this? Anyways, yeah, we're going, I think, go work on... Yeah, I guess we'll go do Ali's quest, I think, really quick. I know I literally just talked to you. No, that's not right. We'll go do, start working on Rowan really quick. Actually, that's the thing. Ali's quest, I haven't looked into it exactly. But there are some quests in the game where it'll actually count Anomaly, Remnant Anomaly as actual bosses, for whatever reason. Not a very high chance, but there is a small chance that they do, and that would be kind of cool. So I guess if we see an anomaly or anonymous spawn, we'll go ahead and do it. But for now, let's go ahead and start working on Rowan. But yeah, this is our second time through Backdoor. This time we do have loot gum and a lot of good pets, so it isn't actually as difficult. So we should be able to get through here quite a bit faster than before. Actually, can we upgrade our vacuum or pack or whatever, or not really? Yeah, so I'm guessing like YouTube's just either not recommending it for whatever reason, or just because I sent it late or something. Something weird. It's not. It's one of those things, like, half the time I do these streams, it's more for my own sanity than anything else. Like, there's been times where I've streamed with, like, literally 0 people watching, and it's just for me to have my own fun. You know, talk to myself. I guess that part of it is just because I was inactive for the last week that YouTube decided, meh, stop promoting that content. Also, I really need to figure out this lag issue. I mean, maybe just buy a better PC. But yeah. All right. Oh, do I have, like... No, I closed Discord before. I'm just trying to remember what I have open at the moment that would be causing lag. Because I'm fairly sure it is just OBS, Roblox, and Chrome I've open. Oh, I guess Steam could be open in the background. Yeah, it's probably Steam. I thought that's causing too much lag. Could just be PC too. Hello. Alright, it's been a little bit. I think an anomaly may have spawned now, but let's see. Yeah, there's the anonymous. Hello. Yeah, honestly, I'm actually working on Rebirths on my main account at the moment. I think I did another Rebirth off stream, and I'll probably be doing a few more just over the next few weeks or whatever. Probably not going to be doing all 17 that I was planning on doing. Right now I'm at like 7, I think. But I'll probably get up to like 10, 12, 13 or something like that, Remnant Zone Tycoons. I just don't see myself actually having the willpower to go all the way up to the initial 17. But yeah, once I get those done, probably get it up to like 13 or whatever, I'll probably at that point start actually working on getting myself some of the new classifieds, specifically like monster mushies. Right now, because I'm pretty much rocking sandstorms at the moment. I think it's 2 sandstorms, 2 depth classifieds, and 2 divines. It's actually pretty bad in terms of stats. Alright, that did not count for Ali's quest, though that was unfortunate. It did, however, give us an anonymous loot bag, which is, you know, fairly decent, but yeah. Yeah, there's some, like, even though the Ghostly Vision classifieds aren't really worth that much, they are still kind of some of the cooler classifieds. Okay, what is up with my lag at the moment? Just a second. I probably shouldn't be doing this. Yeah, just a second. I just don't know where my task manager opens or if it has anything on it that's not... Alright, it's fine. Yeah, that would be Steam. Alright, there goes Steam, OBS. Yeah, I mean, OBS are needed to use all that, so fine. Oh, is my Roblox quality up? No, graphics quality is in the gutter. Okay. Just making sure my settings are actually correct for stuff. Okay, we should... I've been on really working specifically on Ali now, but yeah. No, I've actually not gotten Poseidon yet. It's been one of those... It's been one of the things where I haven't really spent too much time on it. I've been mainly focusing on other stuff like Rebirths and obviously development. But yeah, at some point I should. Like, honestly, classified boards like that are super easy to get. Like, I'll be able to get it within like 5-10 minutes if I decide to. Okay, that's literally did not help at all closing that. That was a mistake. Alright, that'll help a little bit. Opening up the window, helping getting some cold air in here will help cool it down because it is kind of just overheating. Probably not as much as I'd like, but a little bit here and there will help a little bit. Also, for anyone who actually, you guys can barely see it. It's actually snowed outside at my house over the night, so a little bit of snow outside. Alright, anyways, one more and we should be good for this quest. And yeah, I might just go hop over and grab a boss for Ali, because we are getting close to the point where we can go ahead and just straight up complete Ali, since all we need to do is get to that converter. Double luck weekend? Yeah. The thing is, though, now double luck isn't actually as broken as it was before. It's less of the actual luck boost and more of the fact that that luck boost gives people an incentive to be like, oh, it's slightly better now to actually go grind for a class fight. And so a lot more people decide, might as well take this opportunity since I need to do it anyways. Because if you like do the math, it's like a 16% actual buff to like end game luck boost. So it's not like super broken, or at least that's what I'm telling myself to cope with the fact that I re-added it and everyone liked it. But no, I do plan on keeping that thing as it is with plus 100%. I think before, when it was like plus 20%, that literally no one used it. So, you know, I don't think it'll be very common. I think weekends, I kind of want to make them a little less common. And then might be even like, I don't know, do some other stuff with the weekends instead of just having them like, oh, update weekend. You guys get random 2 times luck every once in a while when we need to fill in an update. More be like, I don't know, the off weekend when we aren't having an update or something like that, where it's a little bit more spread out. Maybe make it an entire week instead of a weekend or something like that. I haven't really thought out all this stuff. I don't think we have had enough weekends in the past that people are going to be really noticing a lack of them if we don't do them for a while now. But yeah. Okay, here's what I was going to do. I was going to go to main hub. I was going to go find a boss, and then we'll go ahead and go from there. Yeah, actually, I think almost all of my classifieds I've ever unboxed have been with mass unbox. So I think I've... Yeah, my Roblox is freezing, but you guys can see my cat in the background, so it's all fine, correct? What's going on? No, for anyone wondering why this stream is lagging, this is my PC. This is literally my laptop being a pain. Can we just turn up the encoding and encode our ways over on this issue? Yeah, OBS, I know you're not responding. Just, you know, work with me. hardware still. Cool. Okay, whatever. That's almost certainly not going to fix the issue, but, oh, look at that, a boss. But, you know, maybe, just maybe it will. But yeah, when 13% of my frames have been missed due to an encoding lag, that is usually not a good day for a stream. Generally, I think the way to fix this is just to restart my PC before I do these streams, because PCs really like it when you restart them. It clears up just like, eventually you have memory leaks in a software. There is getting around that, but generally with how big software has become, it's really hard to do that. So it will clean up all that. It makes sure updates get ran. It's just updating your PC or whatever, shutting it down to let it reboot or whatever is pretty helpful for making sure it runs smoothly. That being said, also having not a laptop to do these streams with would probably help a little bit, but whatever. Hello. Ugh, this is disgusting. Like, this is a disgusting amount of lag, and I don't know how to fix it. Like, generally it's like, oh yeah, my friends. Generally it's like, oh yeah, my graphics quality is up too high. No, it's not too high at the moment. It's frankly as low as it's going. Yeah, whatever, I'll fix that later. Alright, but now we should be able to go ahead and finish up Allie's quest, and then we should have one more quest for her to convert some stuff to ectobits, to go ahead and finish it up. Yeah, that being said, I think our next thing is going to be upgrading our antenna, so we'll be going ahead and burning some loot gum for that. Hopefully it doesn't take too long to upgrade our antenna. Once we do have our antenna upgraded, we should be able to then really quickly do Allie's quest and then do a little bit more of Gabe's. But Gabe will require us to go ahead and get all the way into, I think, even into the Agent's HQ, so pretty much finish up every single zone. I do imagine that today's stream, though, we will be able to complete Rowan, Gabe, Allie, and Willen, and then at least start on Blaze. I don't think we'll get any good progress on Blaze, especially if like lag's going to continue to be this bad. But yeah. The thing is, once you're grinding through Backdoor the second time, it should be generally a lot easier. Actually, I should probably be using my, the little bit of glitchy loot gum I have to be going through here a little bit faster, because as it is right now, it's going to be kind of slow with just basic loot gum. So I guess we'll go ahead, go in here, upgrade our battery, and then switch over to the, Actually, how close are we to... Okay, we are, like, actually fairly close. Okay, no, we're a little ways away from getting up to the antenna upgrades, so... In terms of at least USBs, we do have the amount of antenna drops that we need, so don't need to worry about those as much. But the thing is, with the USBs, we also will need USBs later for unlocking the block or the agent's HQ, which isn't cheap. Alright, there we go. Got an upgrade. Only took one entire pushy loot gun, basically. And I guess we probably should try to use at least the rest of this before we have to refill our vacuum, because, you know, we are like made on a glitchy loot gun like I am on my main, so. Alright, that being said, we are able to charge now. And now that we do have access to antenna level 19, we can go use the converter here. Looks like we have barely enough ectobits. We'll just convert all of those really quick. It's not... If we need more, we can always use an XM or whatever to get more of it. But we can go ahead and get Big Cheese and be done with Allie. Now all we have left is going to be Rowan, Gabe, and Willen. Willen is probably going to be the longest out of these, since it does require us to level up pets and whatnot. But Rowan and Gabe also won't be too quick either. Alright, let's try to equip a... I guess since we're vacuuming high health ghosts, we're probably better off just keeping our current pet team. Honestly, probably should be using NX gum at some point here just to upgrade our vacuum and pack really quick, because like it is starting to get a little bit slower. That being said, I still don't think it's actually that bad, to be honest, to be this slow on vacuuming. We are done with Gabe, so we'll go ahead and turn his in. I don't remember what the last few quests of Gabe are. I do believe it's just more, just further in. So, yeah, it looks like next quest is Blockspite HQ, and then I'll probably be Agents HQ, and then whatever as like a find item or something. But yeah, shouldn't be too hard to do this quest, but we should probably try to upgrade our vacuum or packer something pretty soon here, so we aren't falling as behind on ghost vacuum speeds, just because like, you know, it isn't always the best to be this slow on vacuum speed. Even if we do have Billy's perk to help out a little bit with our vacuum speed, am I right? Interesting. Whatever. Oh, I guess it's probably because it doesn't set the layout order. Every time I think I'm done with this journal, it's broken in a different way. Eventually it'll work properly. Hello! Yeah, I mean, it's not like I'm doing too much to this stream. It's like mainly going to be redoing Backdoor. Probably the interesting stream is going to be stream 30, where I actually start into Remnant Zone on this account. I'm actually kind of interested to see how long it is going to take us to get through Remnant Zone doing all the NPCs. Because I know a lot of people have been complaining about like how long Remnant Zone is with all of its like poor item drops or whatever. But I feel like those are like over exaggerated like quite a bit, because I played through on my main account, which my main account versus this account is definitely going to be a difference. But like it only took like an hour or so to go all the way up from like antenna level 1 to like max antenna without, or I guess I didn't have like no items, but most of the items I'd converted to gum or whatever at some point, so I'd very low supplies of all the items. They're not over exaggerated, but yeah, I mean it only took me like an hour to do, so I know the item drops are bad, like that is just actually how it's programmed. I just don't think it's like as bad as people are making out to be, like horrible experience, because it is like kind of the last world in the game, so it's kind of meant to be a little bit more difficult for people to get through. I think it's more balanced than people give it credit for. But I guess we'll see on this account if like it is really painful to go through with all the quests or whatever, or if it's like, you know, a 20-hour ordeal or whatever. Because if it's like 20 hours to get through all that, that's actually relatively fast. Especially since on this account I won't actually have glitchy loot gum, which I would generally advise people to go ahead and do before going into it. Actually, I could grind some for glitchy loot gum. Anyways, I probably won't be going through with glitchy loot gum. I'll probably be using basic loot gum for the entire time. Alright. Let's go ahead, grab this find item. How are we on our antenna upgrade? Do we have our, 8? Oh no, this is the key drive, this is the USB. Yeah. Whatever it is, we should be done with Rowan today. Probably done with Willen. Yeah. And then Gabe obviously is just going to be finishing up. 10 level 20. This is like the point where it becomes kind of. Actually, where are we at on our XGum reserves? Because if we have a decent chunk of glitchy XGum, it's probably worth using this just to get a really a quicker upgrade to our vacuum and pack, and then be able to use that with glitchy XGum to go ahead and get the items necessary. Rather than like using loot gum while it's slow or whatever. But yeah, the thing about this account is I didn't actually grind any glitchy gum before I rebirth. Most accounts I would recommend doing like, you know, quite a bit of grinding, like an hour or 2 hours or 3 hours of glitchy loot gum grinding, glitchy X gum grinding before rebirthing. This account I kind of just jumped straight into it. So rather than having like the huge supplies necessary to like speed run through like all the areas, I didn't have that. Which really actually didn't make too much of a difference with the fact that I was doing every NPC along the way anyways. But it definitely does show up, especially here in the last few areas of Backdoor, where I don't actually have the glitchy loot gum to just constantly burn it to get through ASAP. Alright, with that we should be able to at least upgrade our Disruptor. We probably could have upgraded our pack instead, but I feel like Disruptor is actually going to be a bigger limiting reagent than Vacuum Space. Just because, like, we are actually a little bit struggling with Ghost Health. Do we do another glitchy X gun? No, I think we switch over back to a glitchy loot gun for now. I think one upgrade should be enough. What I really should have done was just upgrade our Disruptor twice or whatever, because we kind of wasted a little bit on mid one, but whatever. Alright, there goes glitchy loot gun. I'm not actually involved with any of like the management for like giveaways or stuff like that. I would probably try to be a little bit more conservative than like dropping everything at one point, because like if it's all dropped, like, or just, I don't know. It's really hard with giveaways and stuff to say like there's a limit, because like there are so many people doing like that would like stuff that it is like you can always like give more, and there are people willing to take more. But at the same time, does become a pain for like people giving the managing the giveaways to actually give those items away. yeah, it's interesting. I would probably not do as much as I've been seeing in recent times. I don't know whose stuff that is. Some of it I think might be yours, but like I don't know if the gum was yours. But especially like huge gum giveaways is one of those things where I've been really noticing that, like, yes, a lot of people really love huge gum giveaways, but one, it's a pain to give gum. Two, half the gum you end up giving away isn't actually gum that people will use. Like, there is no way anyone's using 1,000 Zoom gum or 1,000 like, even if you give someone 100 Zoom gum, they aren't going to use that, like, ever. Like, even 100 enchanted Zoom gum. It's more than enough. It's way more than people would use. Did we literally burn through an entire glitchy loot gum? How are we on items? 203.75. 227. Okay, we're about halfway. Yeah, probably we'll burn another X gum and then see about upgrading some of our stuff a little bit. But yeah. Okay, mythical boards. That's like the mythical. I'm assuming they're developer chest items. Like that's one of those things where yes, it's cool for new players to get those items, but on the other hand, it is literally a pain to do when the items are worthless. So it's really up to you on that. I think like with that, like bundle the mythical boards quite a bit, so it's like in one entire set or something, or 5 or whatever, so that you don't have to give away as much to individual people. And then corrupteds I think can get individually, and then classifieds are definitely individual. But like even like the idea is to not have as much. I'd aim for like around 5 to 10 winners per a giveaway bunch. So when you give away something, at most having that 5 to 10 amount, just so you don't have to manage 20 different people needing items. From experience, when you need to give away 20 different people 5 items, someone's bound to forget, and it just becomes a pain. But yeah. I know. I know a lot of the stuff that I say is useless. For new players is kind of cool. And that is kind of where it's like, oh yeah, giveaways are kind of cool like that. But like, you know, there are so many new players that like some of those useless items, they end up just being like, oh yeah, I'm never going to play again. Even if they get them or whatever, and it's like, oh, all the new players are like, oh yay, cool, a 500 person giveaway where I have a 0.1% chance of winning to get this item that people deem useless. Not as exciting as if something's like really worth something, but at the same time, it is can be cool for new players. But yeah, I think the 5 to 10 people per is probably a good thing to go for. Any more than that, and you end up there's too many people to keep track of. It feels like junk for people getting it, because you're like, oh yeah, I'm one of 1,000 people who won 10. Godly pets from this giveaway. Surely this godly pet's actually useful. Alright, I hope we're almost... Okay, I know with this we can at least upgrade our vacuum or pack ones. Ideally, I would like to upgrade both. But I guess we'll see where we're at. Honestly, you might be able to just upgrade one of them twice. Yeah, okay. Let's go grab a little bit more and then upgrade our pack twice. Like, okay, that's like one of the rules in this challenge that it feels like it should be there, but it isn't there, and that's just because I was One, I kind of forgot about it, and two, once I remembered about it for like Ghost World, I remembered, oh wait, this is actually not a good idea to have that requirement to unlock like every single pack and back, just because it would become a pain for like, oh yeah, before I can move on from Ghost World, I have to get the max pack, and it's like, yeah, I'm stuck here upgrading my packs again. You guys know how much I struggled on getting like Jax and Leo's upgrades. Now imagine if I had to do that, except I had to get every single one. It quickly turned into a pain, so it probably should have been a rule, but for skipping packs and backs, but whatever. Alright, it should be the last glitchy loot gum we need to use. Yeah, that's called plagiarism, and I'm fairly sure that's illegal even without any I mean, I'm sure there are some rules to it, like in Geometry Dash itself. But pretty much anything like creative you create is actually like automatically copyrighted or whatever, so yeah. It's just one of those things where it's a game, so it's not like really legal in a sense to do anything like that outside of it, but yeah, it's definitely one of those things that's bad. I think I'm going, yeah, I think honestly giveaways aren't as important as the person giving away the items thinks it is sometimes. But yeah. Okay, yeah. That was what I was thinking, like Geometry Dash would have its own rules, is that it would have some clause in there where, yeah, no, nothing is copying quite literally. There's clauses that you can make in the game like that. Like, I think Roblox has some fair use stuff too, where you can upload a game and then allow people to copy it, and therefore they would be able to like make a copy of the game. Obviously for like Ghost Simulator, it's a different story because it isn't open to anyone to copy, so if you do copy, it's kind of bad. But yeah, no, so sometimes they do have stuff like that. If there isn't anything like explicit in the game about it, there's copyright would apply, I think. At least if it's a lot of creativity. But yeah. What am I doing? How close am I to my upgrade? I do have those coffees. I am a lovely amount short from my antenna requirements, so, you know, I guess we'll just go ahead and vacuum some more ghosts from previous areas. Also, the funny thing I realized about the, like, the last update, like, I was expecting a lot more backlash from the adjustments to Yoko's quest. I think it helped that it was kind of one of those things I did make quite apparent beforehand to, like, a lot of the people. I mentioned it in the Ghost Sim discussion, in Discord and whatever, but, like, looking at it, like, someone made a suggestion, hey, revert back to previous things for Yoko, like, an actual suggestion. And you would think, like, oh yeah, making the game easier, everyone will like that. That will be a pretty slam dunk, suggestion. The votes for it were quite the opposite. It was, like, 3 up votes and, like, 14 down votes or something ridiculous. And it was like, wow. Honestly, with Yoko, I kind of was... The thing is, I'm just making sure rebirth times stay the same so that later on, if I do make, like, rebirths harder, like, if I do make rebirths harder, I've said this before, I will be going ahead and taking the bosses out of Yoko. Maybe at some point I might also balance the whole entire thing so that Yoko isn't as like make Yoko a lot easier, but add a different requirement so that there's more levers for me to adjust for rebirth times. Like one of the suggestions that I'm not doing, and I don't think this is a good idea, was making Fern re-required for rebirths. For anyone who doesn't know, right when Fern and Gatekeeper was added, you had to actually complete Fern's questline to go ahead and complete Gatekeeper's questline, because she gave a very important item, which was the chocolate bar that you needed for Gatekeeper. And since Gatekeeper was required to move on to Backdoor, it was sort of this thing where you need to complete Yoko to complete Fern to complete Gatekeeper, which is kind of a annoying requirement chain that they kind of got rid of. But since that was the case at one point, people are suggesting it again. It's just one of those things where I could do some other stuff for rebirths to make that, like, other requirements that aren't Yoko, that aren't bosses, that aren't intent upgrades, like another NPC or something else, just to make rebirths a little bit more difficult in a sense. I haven't really thought about it too much, but yeah. Like, it's just one of those things where I don't want to make the thing easier on accident and then have to either revert it later or live with it being easier, because that's a trap that kind of happened with the gem grinding, which everyone hated for whatever, or maybe not everyone. I really liked it, but I hated it when we were in that in-between period where I was just getting easier and easier and easier by like 10x, 2x, 4x every single update, where it was like, this is game-breakingly amount of bad. But yeah, if I can always make it easier later, and no one will complain if I take out one boss from Yoko because, oh wow, rebirth times are a little bit longer than I wanted, or whatever later. But like, looking at what the rebirth times that people have done, it does look like it's actually at an easier level than it was before, like, surprisingly, which is kind of, a lot of it is like time that I took out of I guess a minute and a half is time I took out of mega bosses just in that wait time. So maybe that minute and a half probably should just get straight up removed or whatever from a rebirth. But yeah, can't wait for the day when rebirths take 20 minutes. Yeah, honestly, I should just go add a button that says rebirth here. And every time you rebirth, you just get one free rebirth perk or whatever. You know, no need to actually grind up to Remnant Zone. You just need to click a button. No. In all honesty, I kind of want to do something fun with rebirths. Leave them at like a current... Okay. I shouldn't say this. This is like ideas I have that are like pipe dreams, where it's just kind of a, oh, that'd be really cool in the future. I don't think if it's worth my time to actually implement this. I don't know if I've said this before, but this is not coming into the game anytime soon. But it is sort of an idea I have for maybe in the future with rebirths. Is adding like different tiers of rebirth. So right now we kind of have casual rebirths, where you know, everything flies on the rebirth, but like making like a competitive rebirth time. I don't think this is a good idea. I honestly think, like, based on what I've seen in other games, that competitive stuff isn't generally where a game needs to go to increase its viability. It's generally casual. But making competitive times where like game passes are disabled, your stats from pets are like capped or whatever. Gum may or may not be able to be used or capped at like basic or whatever, and just adding like restrictions to like how you can play for like a competitive timing. I don't know, maybe you'd have a special reward of like 2 perks instead of 1 perk, with like choosing your rebirth perks. I haven't thought about whether it'd be a reward or just like a special leaderboard or whatnot. But yeah, that's one of the ideas I'm thinking about for rebirths. I don't think it's a super good idea, as I've said, but it is one of the things that I think people would think about would be cool. But yeah. Yeah, Deadbolt, that's a really bad idea. Like, supremely bad idea. Yeah, I miss when gems were so absurdly hard to get. Yeah. I feel like in the future, I am going to be balancing quite a bit of the gem stuff, so that it's easier to get gems from, like, gem drops and some of the other gem sources, and then harder to get it from, like, converters or whatnot. Not, like, supremely more difficult, but, like, just enough where it's like, oh, yeah, I have options, instead of being like, oh, yeah, I have to go grind for rebirths. If I want to go grind for gems. It's going to take a while. I feel like a lot of this stuff that I say is, like, looking at the schedule for the game, there are stuff that I have to do, like, a lot of stuff that I have to do every single update. It's kind of hard to fit in balances to the game, especially when some of the balances do require me to rework how systems work. Like, making game passes and stuff additive instead of multiplicative, you might think, oh yeah, that's just super easy. Like, you know, you change how it works. I'm fairly sure, I haven't looked too much into it, but it requires either a lot of, like, really sketchy code to do it fast, or it requires me reworking how the entire buff system for the game works, which is, like, you know, I think you guys can understand that reworking an entire system of the game is not going to be a very quick Monday endeavor for me, or anyone for that matter. But yeah. Honestly, there's some stuff that I probably shouldn't be I might do that sooner than later. Yeah, it's fine for me to say that. Okay, one of the things that I've been thinking about that I think would be a pretty cut and dry way to balance a lot of the perks in Ghost Simulator, like Game Pass and whatnot. This is going to be the current stuff that's mostly useless. Or I guess maybe not mostly useless is the wrong way to phrase it. But like the stuff that's like kind of less useful. Instead of it being a ×2 flat, where like it's really helpful for endgame for like 2 times rems or whatever, where it's really helpful for gem grinding endgame, but other than that it's kind of meh because you have to be using gum with it in every game pass or rebirth and whatever. It's changing those from a ×2 that applies like on top of everything to like a plus 200% that stacks additively to gum, where it still will multiply with like rebirths and all that stuff, but just along with gum it's different, to make it a little bit more balanced for like free to play, because instead of being a free to play you losing half or whatever, you're losing like, you know, 40%, which, you know, it's still quite a bit. And if you're like, but if you have the Game Pass and you aren't running gum, like for instance you're running like loot gum while grinding coins or whatever, it actually would be a buff or whatever, which is kind of cool. The downside is, as I said, I'd have to rework how the buff system works, and changing game passes is one of those things that is a lot more controversial than it would seem. So I have to really go hard on like figuring out how people think about it beforehand. So I'm not sold on that idea yet. That's just one of the ideas I do have for balancing the game in the future. Please keep talking about things you're planning. Yeah, the things I just talked about with the Game Pass changes, or what was the other thing I talked about? Rebirths with like competitive rebirth leaderboards or whatever. None of that's going to be coming anytime soon. Like if you look at the schedule for us, okay, this is going to be somewhat leaks. I mean, a lot of this, guys, you guys could just figure out by looking at a calendar. Next update is going to be a minor update. I'm not going to say too much on what it is. I know I already said at some point next minor update. Next 2 minor updates would be some remnant zone located. And then once we're done with that, it's actually the update afterwards is going to be Easter, which we have something cool that's hopefully going to work. I've started working on just making sure Easter is like accessible or whatever and working. So not done too much on the actual event itself, but rest assured that event is going to be cool if I manage to get it out. Might be a little bit delayed, depending on if I end up running into too many issues with actual event stuff, because events are complicated. Alright, let's go upgrade our disruptor. I almost want to upgrade my disruptor twice. Nah. Anyways, yeah, and so next update after that, next update's minor update, next update after that's Easter, next update is going to be Easter again. And then after that, I don't know. So that's kind of next like month and a half is kind of already, I'm already like planned out for like what I'm working on. Not that I can't fit in stuff into it. Like there have been balance changes that you guys have probably noticed in the last few updates that aren't really big ones, that kind of just are cool stuff. For instance, in the last update, the starter pack is no longer required for 100% game completion. No longer counts as game completion for the game. So that is kind of nice. Honestly, I don't know how many people actually noticed that. It's one of those things that I have, like, when I realized that, I was like, oh yeah, I'll fix that at some point, because that is bad. Not that, like, as a developer, I'm realizing Robux is a lot more different than I think about it as a player of the game. So, like, I shouldn't give any concrete examples. But yeah, because that, it was like, it was one of those things that didn't make any sense. To have a game pass required for game completion. So, remove that straight up. There's a few other things, like, mobile, you can actually skip dialogue now, so, that is something that everyone wants. The only issue with that was it broke controllers for a little bit, but whatever. It's fixed now. Oh yeah, talking about NPCs, we should go talk to Gabe. Also, did I really fix that? Break that? Lovely. No, I didn't. Okay. It's just... Okay, I believe these things I might have not broken. Alright, whatever. F9 errors, yes, lovely. I love finding them. I don't believe that has anything to do with the fact that my tracking isn't working properly. PC already has the skip dialogue. No, basically what it is if you tap on the screen, the dialogue will actually speed up, like it does on PC when you spam spacebar. It's not like an actual dialogue skip. I think looking at it, there isn't really a good reason for me to add dialogue skipping. The only thing I would like to do is like fix it so that lag isn't an issue when you're trying to speedrun dialogue, but yeah. What's the upgrade called next to the gum hotkey? Gum hotkey, this one is the particle accelerator you get from Billy, which speeds up your vacuum as you're vacuuming a ghost. So you definitely will 100% notice that this is getting faster and faster as I continue to vacuum that ghost. Correct? You guys notice that? No? Okay, not just me. Yeah, that's it is definitely the most useless perk in the game. So yeah, don't worry too much about it. It resets when you rebirth. It is 100% useless. Don't worry about it too much. Alright, there we go. Oh, one of the things I am minorly proud of this update. When you show and hide your options, it now tweens. Not the best, but it does. Oh, I should do that. No, I wasn't talking about your idea. I don't even know what you're talking about. I forgot what I was saying. I was thinking about adding Backdoor. So you guys probably have noticed that all the Backdoor, like upgrade your antenna, doesn't actually have the item requirements for it, which is people are what so used to now. And I can tell you right now that's because the backend didn't support it before last update. So I can go ahead and next update if I wanted to just add all those like item requirements for Backdoor or whatever, so that people can actually view how many of the items they need for those upgrade antenna stuff in like Backdoor or Remnant Zone or whatever. Yeah, I honestly don't even I don't know what you were suggesting for. I forget what I'm talking about sometimes, so when you guys just say something and comment on it, my mind's just somewhere completely else. Actually, we do have our, what items do we need for this? We need USBs and, Fluxbit tokens, so, just this. That being said, how much of these stuff do I need? Also, I can't express enough, like, okay, I keep trying to hit tab to open and close my journal, and I thought at one point that'd be a really cool idea. Now for whatever reason, I think that's actually a feature. So in the future, I might go ahead and add it so that you can go ahead and use tab to open and close the journal, because I keep trying to instinctively use it as a actual hot button, even though it definitely is not yet. You know, I think that would be a cool idea. The rest of you guys can probably disagree, but oh yeah, I've no idea what the current formula is for it. I do know that there is a cap on it, so, but the thing is, honestly, pretty much no matter how I change it, it's not going to help anything. I think the one thing I could do to that would actually make it kind of useful, is some sort of improvement so that it affects bosses somehow. But I don't know if that's really feasible or a good idea, because like sometimes I have ideas and they are just bad ideas. I can't. Oh, I've had bad ideas in the past. It's actually pretty common. I think one of those was like with the boosted event or boosted gums. At some point, I do like most of the changes I said for like boosted gums or anything that you buy with Robux. I think a lot of those will be helpful. But like looking at it, like one of the things that I did say was like, oh yeah, decrease boss timer or whatever, or decrease timers, they'll tick down faster or whatever with one of the gums. Yeah, no, it doesn't sound actually as good of an idea as right now as it did then. Maybe just because, you know, it's actually kind of a pain to add buffs that are additive, but whatever. Alright, let me check. We are perfect. We are able to unlock the agent's HQ. There we go. Yeah, basically everyone is one-shotting most ghosts in the game at this point. Especially like Remnant Zone. Remnant Zone's really bad. I think a vacuum was made a little bit more important, which I think I can do fairly easy by like tuning down how much stats like classifieds get in terms of like vacuum stats. So like leaving the cell stats alone should keep everyone fine. So if I like heavily nerfed like where they're only like 2 times better than the Goblin or whatever instead of 6.94, it would make it a little bit better. But making it so that vacuum stats are meaningful in the game again, and then or buffing or nerfing the vacuums or buffing the ghost health or something like that. For Remnant Zone, I could probably do something similar, but like a lot of it is kind of just future stuff that is in the process and not actually something that I can. There's no easy way to make just like, oh yeah, I'll make particle accelerator useful. It's pretty much just going to be bad forever. Just super nerf the vacuums? Yeah, no, that's the thing. I don't want to do that because anyone running like godlies or whatever are going to struggle way too much when like people that don't have them are going to make it too easy or whatever. I think it's better to level the curve rather than just decrease the slope of the curve, if you guys get anything math references. Basically, instead of having still a linear difference where like, oh yeah, these people are 2x better than those, having it more of a slope. So rather than being 2x at here, it's more like 1.5x or whatever, where average-wise, yeah, they look pretty similar, but the people at the top don't have as much advantage. Because I feel like if you have a linear advantage to the people at the top, what ends up happening is they're playing exponentially more. And they also have that exponential, or they have a multiplicative advantage. And so, like, instead of their difficulty, like, becoming harder for them for you spending more time in the game, it ends up becoming easier the more time you spend, which is not kind of what you want in a game. You kind of want it so that people are actually challenged in the game the more time they spent, not just oh yeah, I got to this point, now it's just gets easier and easier and easier and easier because I keep growing additively instead of multiplicatively. Anyways, let's continue. Anyways, all those changes, I don't know if they're coming anytime soon or at all. It's just that's what I would prefer for changes to look like, rather than just be, oh yeah, nerf everyone or buff everyone or whatever. Making it so that the difficulty curve starts out very fast in progression and then slows down a lot more during the end than it does at the moment. Ideally without making people mad, but you know, I'm not adverse to making people mad. I think sometimes people do need to be made mad. And I mean, the benefit of that is that vacuum parts or event parts, whatever, the vacuum perk for rebirth perks would become useful again too. The pet evo part would become useful if I made that additive with tycoons. It just, everything would become quite a bit better. Yeah, hello. Hello, Rezi. Oh, the one thing though that I could add next update. Actually, I haven't even told other developers about this one. I think the leaderboard, I've set it up correctly so that next update, if I wanted to, I could actually add a rebirth leaderboard for like the amount of rebirths people finally have. I tried to do this like last update, but I typoed somewhere, so it didn't actually work or whatever. But yeah, next update, if I want to, I could go ahead and add the rebirth leaderboard. I don't think I will. I think it's one of those things where it's I'd much rather sit on that idea and make sure other people like ask other people's opinion on it before I just go, oh yeah, this sounds like a good idea. Add because like it isn't just upsides for adding a rebirth leaderboard. Like one of the big things that I've been thinking about is like where it gets placed. And like right at this point, I think the best idea I've had so far is actually just placing one leaderboard in like Void or whatever, or Remnant Zone or something like that, where it's like something not as visible, not in Main Hub, because I don't have a good space to place in Main Hub. I could make it so that it's like shares a spot or whatever, but there's not a good spot to place a physical leaderboard. So I'd probably end up placing it in Void. And then another thing with that is like that's a lot of people have grinded rebirths, and I don't know if they want the rebirth amounts to be displayed in game. Making sure that people that I do have a lot of rebirths would like their rebirth amounts to actually be displayed is one of those things where I'm like, I should probably wait and see what people's opinion on that would be. And yeah, I actually did add some rebirth times too. So your rebirth times are now being saved every time you complete a rebirth. Hopefully, this can't be abused, but there's always a small chance that there's some way to abuse this. And so I'm just going to kind of keep an eye on that. None of it's actually being saved in a centralized position. It's only being saved in a like individual data source, so I can't actually like compare everyone's times to see who has the fastest times. It's all figuring out just individually. I do have the potential to add a rebirth time leaderboard. I'd probably make it on like a weekly basis, and hopefully a rolling weekly basis instead of a resets every weekly basis, because resetting every week is kind of weird. Or maybe just all time. I don't know. I'm not sold on the idea of a rebirth time leaderboard yet. I thought it was a good idea. There's the back end for it if I ever feel like it, but I'm not sold on what it would be. But yeah, it'd be rebirth amounts. That would be the first thing. That is already ready for if I ever want to add it. Although, again, as I said, I would need to bring that up and talk a lot more about it than just adding it to the game. Actually, I think neither Ed or Uncle is the funny thing is number one on leaderboards. I think there's this random other dude that had like 250 plus, which is just stupid. And yeah, a lot of it was like old bug abuse where you could literally rebirth in like 40 minutes or whatever. But I don't know how much of the people who've done it did actually do that versus I know for instance, like all the people we know about, none of them really abused that glitch. No one. That glitch was like, it was really easy to do, but just no one did it just because we were all like, hey, this is how you do rebirths. This is how we're doing rebirths. Like, I did like 20 or whatever rebirths while that glitch was there, and I never even thought about doing it just because I was like, you know, I'm just going to do quests how I want to, rather than, or do the quests that I know are necessary, or I think are necessary, instead of trying to figure out ways to cheese it. But yeah. Oh, Ed with 280? Okay. Yeah, then never mind. Ed is definitely first. I think Uncle's like 240 or 239, I think is what I heard. Anyways, this is actually all stuff I could go technically check. Like, it's literally available for me to go check this at the moment. I just won't. But yeah, this is what I'm talking about like privacy on this stuff. It's like one thing when the leaderboards existed since the things came out and you knew that, oh yeah, my name will be on that leaderboard if I grind this. It's another to be have grinded for it and be like, oh yeah, now your name will be displayed on the leaderboard for everyone to see how many rebirths you have. I don't know. I'll have to ask. I mean, I'll check eventually, but for right now, it's more of... Okay, why is this quest not tracking correctly? This is really annoying me. And it's just this quest, because all the other quests are working fine. Alright, anyways, Anomaly is here. Let's go find it. And let's go equip a pet team for leveling. Alright, let's go find Anomaly. Make it an opt-in feature? Yeah, that's, it's unfortunately not as easy as you think it is. I could. No, I really can't, can I? Yeah, I guess I could, and technically. I just don't think that's actually necessary. I just need to make sure that at least some people are okay with that idea. Honestly, one of the things I might just do is go check suggestions on it. Okay, like, at some point, people have suggested this. Alright, there we go. We've hit it once. We should be fine. And see if, like, a good percentage of the people that are high on leaderboards, like, have, like, agreed with that suggestion. Because, people have suggested rebirths in leaderboards in the past, and, I'm fairly sure some of the people high on the leaderboards would have voted yes or no on that. And if, like, all of them have voted yes, then it shouldn't be too much of an issue. It's just, you know, making sure instead of just assuming everyone's cool with their name being plastered on a leaderboard. One suggestion for a leaderboard is 24 likes. Yeah, I don't care. The thing about suggestions with that, I'm looking for people like Uncle, Ed, Papa Yaya, who else has quite a bit? Ninja Wars, I don't believe. Actually, I'm not 100% sure on Ninja Wars. But like those people with like the 200 plus whatever, see what their opinions on it were. I mean, with no dislikes, they probably are fine with it, but yeah. Again, I don't know. If it was going to come in this update, I'll have to actually talk with developers about it. Okay. No, it is literally just an issue with Gabe's questline that whenever I track it, it doesn't go up to the top. Anyways, done with Gabe. I think we probably need to start really working on Willens. Make a poll, get some primary data. Yeah, it's going to be primary data. I'm going to go specifically talk to people like Papa Yaya, Ed Spunky. Maybe not Ed Spunky. Honestly, I don't know who of those people actually want to talk to me. I know some people don't like me for reasons, obviously. Actually, I don't know that. But some people might not like me. I'm not going to force people to talk to me if they don't want to. Alright, let's go do the, goes for Willen really quick. Everyone likes you. No, not everyone likes me. There are some very clear traits I can point to that are definitely not everyone likes you material. Which is fine. Honestly, I feel like people take it too personally when people don't like them or whatever. Like, that's just kind of how it works. If someone doesn't like you, that's fine. That's just, you know, live with it. But yeah. Yeah, okay, so 100% of the people who responded to the one question you asked, yes. I think in statistics, that's actually not how that works either. I don't remember the statistics equations from when I took statistics like 30 years ago or whatever, but I'm fairly sure you add in like quite a bit of bias based on how many people you like pull or whatever. I just don't remember how much it is for like one person. I believe it's a ridiculous like margin of error or whatever. Oh, cool. Okay, so now we have two people. So now we actually have some data. Yeah, this is definitely a very good sample too. There is no obvious bias on why picking people from my live stream chat would show any particular bias on that question whatsoever. Yeah. This is... No, yeah, sampling bias is actually one of the most interesting, or one of the things I think is most interesting in, like, statistics. Because sometimes it's super obvious, like, yeah, people in my live chat are obviously going to like me. But other times it's a lot less obvious, like, oh yeah, if you pull people on the internet, on, like, I don't know, let's do something, common. Who's the best president? Who's going to win the presidency? You think, oh yeah, if you just pull Americans on the internet, just have them respond or whatever. No, that seems pretty biased. You go ask random people on the internet. There are biases that you can get because, I don't know, maybe one party or whatever has more people using the internet. versus age demographics too. Like maybe one is older or whatever. There's a lot of these biases that you don't even think about when it comes to statistics. Like, oh, primarily, yeah, it's a lot harder than you think to get a random sample. Like, one of the things, like, in my statistics where it's like, oh yeah, how do you sample from the school? Okay, you go pick people by their IDs or whatever. That's probably, like, the most fair. But what you'd more likely would do is go ask people that show up at, like, a stand or whatever, at your school, that are just coming to school during the day or whatever. And yeah, that might be somewhat random, but that's going to miss people who have, like, online classes. That's going to miss people who don't have time to go stop at a booth. Let's say you do the ID and you just send out emails to people. You're not going to hit the people who don't respond to emails or whatever. And that might be like a specific group that you actually care about. Like, for instance, old people might not respond. Okay. Young people might not respond to emails that are cold emails on like a poll on how they like the school or whatever. So yeah, there's a lot of stuff like that with statistics where it's actually kind of hard to get a correct sampling of people. But yeah. Do I like myself? Yes. I'm 100% fine with myself. So yeah, I think 4. Very good ratio so far. We are at 100% ratio of people who like me. Anyways. There's the rare pet. Another uncommon pet. Rare pet. There we go. That's the amount of crates I want to open at a time. Set up a pool right now. Yeah, no. I don't actually care too much. But yeah, my main point there is that, like, I'm not going to be making sure to talk to everyone about it. I just more want to make sure at least, like, I get the opinions of people that are going to be included in that. Do we have an uncommon? Yes, we do have an, or rare, I guess. Oh, we have enough to go upgrade our vacuum, so let's go ahead and do that. You want a rebirth and you don't know what to pick. Okay. So in terms of perks, there's this, the best perks to generally pick on your first rebirth are those that'll make future rebirths easier. That being said, that will be Master Hunter or Ghostly Vision. Master Hunter gives you 2 additional streams, which, like, really helps you from the get-go be able to vacuum ghosts faster. It's basically, like, it allows you to simp Finsley, basically allows you to triple the amount of ghosts you can vacuum, which is, like, a lot more helpful than you think. And then Ghostly Vision, it adds more bosses options for Yoko, so that'll make that quest singly easier. That being said, before you rebirth, you'll want to go ahead and get a good supply of loot gums, since you probably know from your first time playing through the game that getting items, especially in like Backdoor, can be a really big a pain. And so going ahead and doing some grinding in like Backdoor or whatever, get some glitchy loot gums will really help there. Additionally, getting some good pets before your birth is a pretty good idea. There's a few options you have. You can go for some of this stuff, like just godlies or whatever, like Adam plus whatever godlies you can get from the box fight chests. Or you can go ahead and get like Lucky Cats, which are the best options that you probably have before rebirthing. But yeah. Goes to Vision, Lucky Eyes, Master Hunter, and Second Arc. But it got removed, so you 100 keys and one to buy. Like, what should I go? Okay, since you're already set up with all the permanent perks, which are the ones that you get first off, once that, really the only reason to go ahead and do more rebirths is to grind more gems faster, which is a really weird way to have it. It's kind of meaningless in a sense, where you're only grinding rebirths to get more gems. But with that being said, your best point at this point is going for more currency of a certain kind. So one of the tycoons. Generally, this is Backdoor or Remnant Zone Tycoon, depending on which area you want to grind for gems. Remnant Zone being generally a little bit better gem rate, whereas Backdoor will be a little bit easier to max into, since you have to get you have the void pack and whatever. You have more storage capacity with that. But yeah, so one of those two tycoons, and the idea would be to get around 17 of those tycoons before you start alternating with Pet Evo with those tycoons, and that's just the maximum gem percentage. Actually, sticking to that rate isn't super useful. Like if you run the numbers, if you run something silly grab 2 tycoons and then grab a Pet Evo or whatever, it's 2% difference once you get up to 10 rebirths or whatever. So not super significant that you maintain that exact ratio. But yeah, tycoons and Pet Evos for going ahead and maximizing gem grinding potential. Since the best way to get gems is from the currency, converting to gems in the converters. And then ideally either Remnant Tycoon or Backdoor Tycoon. But yeah, it's going to be a grind, and the only benefit you are getting is more gems, which the only thing to do with more gems is to grind for classified. So it's one of those things where it's a lot of work for not that much. If you look at how rebirths actually work, it's kind of weird in a way. I'll take that. Yeah, it's going to be a grind to actually make use on of rebirths. It's just how it is. And frankly speaking, literally as long as you don't choose advanced parts, you're going to be fine. Even as bad as Divines are, where they really fall off really late game, you aren't going to make use on a Divine at the end of the game. Once you get classifieds better than them, they're kind of just useless. But they will help you get to be better, so it's not horrible to pick them. I definitely would not recommend picking Divines. You're going to get so much more mileage out of using other pets and then grinding tycoons to make up for the stat difference, but it is not actually as bad of an option as you think. So Alright, we need 2 more item drops. Or 1 more item drop, depending on how lucky we get. Alright, there. And yeah, we're done with Rowan. Because the next one is just the find items. I don't know. I don't really pay attention to giveaways, to be honest. Alright, there we are. Done with Rowan. Now we just need to complete Willen and probably start working on Blaze. How much more levels do we need for... Alright, 25 or so. I believe we need a legendary to level 2 and then a godly to like level 4 for this quest, so nothing super crazy. There we go. Level up any legendary pet to level 2, yep. Alright, question, do we have... No. Where would we have it? Actually, no, we should start with rarity for this. I don't believe I have any slightly leveled 1 pets, so we'll probably just go ahead and use this. And with 100 XP, I think the best plan is going to be to go find an anomaly. No, Ghost is just going to be straight up better. Also, if my internet just gives out right now, it's like flicker. My power is flickering. I don't know if you guys can see the lights flickering every once in a while. Not that bad. I don't think it's going to crash. But if the stream just ends, my power probably just gave out. So yeah, sorry about that in advance if that does happen. All right. I'm grabbing this just because I'm being lazy right now and don't want to grab 50 more ghosts. So we're gonna go ahead and do that. Did I stop streaming? No, we're still streaming. Okay. Okay. Honestly, we're going to leave that and go grab some more ghosts because I'm actually getting bored of that too. Frankly, I should be working on Blaze at the same... Actually, no. Blaze is literally just going to be a lot of server hopping, so we don't need to actually worry about his quest. Also, just to confirm, we don't have any other arrows I'm missing other than Aiden. Yeah. All we have is Aiden Blaze. Oh yeah. Definitely reminds me of a recent stream where my power just went out in the middle of it. Right now it's just flickering, so yeah, a little bit lighter sentence than what I ended up having to deal with, but still, nonetheless, still kind of interesting. Also, I'm fairly sure this it faces the average position, so if you end up getting the position like perfectly in the middle of it, it'll do a little dance. Anyways, we need like 5 more XP or whatever to level this thing up, so... Oh, did I not equip this? No, I've just been trolling. Okay. Yeah, I have a horrible thumbnail style. Like, my clickbait is horrible. Every once in a while, I get something cool looking. But yeah, no, most of the time my thumbnails are horrible. I generally overthink it is what it ends up being. But, yeah, you'll notice that a lot of the update thumbnails for the game are actually in that similar style. A lot less scuffed because most of it is the text, so I can actually, write something. But yeah, I am pretty much responsible for those the update thumbnails. You literally just see them once when you log in for the first time after an update, though, so no one's really notices them too much. The first one was kind of scuffed. I made it kind of scuffed on accident, I guess. I didn't quite have as much stuff as I would want. But yeah. Other than that, though, it's honestly, thumbnails aren't that bad. I have a lot of resource material where I can just copy paste stuff, so yeah. Alright. 6. I'd be done by now if I just didn't troll and not have it equipped when I was doing the bosses. That wasn't even as many ghosts as I thought it would be. Yes, I'm expecting episode 29 is going to be pretty much completing Blaze and Void. So episode 30 is going to be when we enter into Remnant Zone, ideally. That is like one whole entire episode out though, so yeah, not quite there yet. We actually might start into it next episode a little bit, just depending on how bad Blaze is. I believe Blaze will take us about an hour and a half, and then it'll take us another about 45 minutes for Void. No, 30 minutes for Void, and then we'll have an hour to go into Remnant Zone next episode. So we're getting close. We're not quite there yet though, so like we do need to finish up a little bit of stuff here in Willen, in the Backdoor, but yeah. As a whole, getting into Remnant Zone is probably the best idea, since it will be... Remnant Zone's like the one area I haven't actually like looked at yet so far as a free-to-play account. So it'll be interesting to see with like this account how we'll fare once we get there, because I feel like it's going to be a lot easier than people give it credit for. It'll probably take us like 20 hours or so to complete it entirely, so like less than 10 episodes. In other words, it will be faster to complete the entire game with like after you rebirth, go all the way up through the entire Remnant Zone, completing every single new NPC than it will be to complete the entire thing before you rebirth, which will be kind of weird, but you know. Yeah, I think you generally do 15 to 20 minutes per Void is what's generally penciled in. So I'm penciling in 30 minutes because 30 minutes sounds average, and is probably a pretty good estimate. All right, that should be the... Oh, that was the legendary. I don't know, I just got really lucky with that. Okay, I swear I'm not just rigging the RNG. It just felt like that should be about when I get the legendary. Despite that being the third crate I opened. Someone's going to accuse me of doing some developer RNG rigging for that. Alright, level up that legendary pet up to level 3. You're lovely. Love to see it. We will go find Anomaly, which I do believe is in the barn. Since I can't say no to that XP. No, what? Since when has this been a spawn for Anomaly? Okay, whatever. Anyways, I think we need 150 XP if I remember correctly for this, so this should be about 50, so 100 more after this. Now that other people are here, I think we're able to go abandon ship, let them deal with it. Or has been after the boss update in Backdoor. Yeah, at one point, when all the ghost spawns were added, some extra stuff, some of the bosses were duplicated. Lucky Cats were duplicated quite a bit. So it was kind of a mess. I think it's got solved now. I don't think Lucky Cat has too many additional spawn spots. But yeah. All of them got mixed around for Lucky Cat, so it kind of messed up the wiki for a little bit. Actually, the wiki might still be messed up. I don't know if anyone's actually confirmed like Ghost World spawn areas yet. I believe I know I personally made sure the ones in Backdoor were set up correctly, but the ones in the other worlds, I don't know if people actually got around to those yet. Alright. Yeah, this is definitely one of those things I should have been doing while I was going through all the other NPCs, since leveling up pets you can really do with any other quest. But, you know, honestly, one of the things I like to do in Ghost Simulator is specifically do one NPC at a time. I honestly do not like the min-maxing of doing like 5 NPCs at a time. I don't know. I find it tiresome to do that. Even if it technically speeds up it a lot, it's a lot more than I like to keep track of. Alright, bye York! Alright, we should need like 15 more ghosts. Yeah, 24 more ghosts. I wonder if anyone's taking longer than you to get to the same point in terms of playtime. Yes. Easily. I'm assuming you're talking in terms of like all these NPCs that I've completed and not like on Rebirth 1, almost ready for Rebirth 2. But yeah, even for that second one, almost certainly. Like, I am going slow. Hello! Hello, Block 8. No, on Rebirth 1, ready for Rebirth 2? Okay. Yeah, for that one, it's a little bit more of a toss-up. Definitely if you include, like, oh yeah, completed all these NPCs, then yes, yeah, people definitely take longer. In terms of Rebirth, so yeah, I think it's, I mean, definitely anyone prior, to Rebirths being added, like, who just played the game up until, like, Rebirths were added or whatever, we spent dozens of hours grinding in certain areas. In terms of like actual progression gameplay, yeah, I'm sure there's people that have taken way longer. Right, this one's going to take a while. This is probably going to burn pretty much all our gems. But yeah, there's people that have taken a lot longer. Like, I don't think you understand just how much time I save knowing like what NPCs to do in what order, even though I'm doing all the NPCs, so you think, oh yeah, it doesn't matter. It does. I'm not getting stuck on stuff like Yu or Gramps or Gran at a bad time. I'm kind of specifically doing them in a correct order. Like, even with those quest lines, it's one of those things that I'm still able to progress reasonably fast just because I know the routes. Use Lucky Gum? Yeah, no, I should probably use Lucky Gum. Oh, okay. Actually, is this... That might be why it breaks. Because, yeah, this tween's correct. Sorry, I'm just doing some development, thinking, yeah, okay, that's just a different menu. Trying to figure out why stuff breaks. Anyways, There's something I was going to say. Yeah, I don't know. Who cares? Actually, you know, when I start using Lucky Gum, it's going to be like the first crate, and so it will look like I wasted the entire rest of the gum. Let's see, where's our Lucky Gum? Okay. Next update, I'll be adding that tab to close and open the journal menu. Because I keep trying to do that. Am I in the group? No, I'm not in the group. The thing about this account was specifically doing stuff with as little perks as possible. And so, yeah. No 10% luck boost for me. I don't think it actually makes too much of a difference, even, like, without any boost. Like, 10% is pretty minimal. Alright, I might have to go open up the auto clicker really quick for this because I don't think it's coming anytime soon. If I have to use a second Lucky Gum, I will pull out the auto clicker. But I do believe next quest is going to be leveling up a godly up to like level 4, I believe. And then after that, it'll be a any pet up to level 10, and then it's going to be indexing, which we already have it done. Get a classified to level 15? Yeah, no. There are some limits to my, insanity when it comes to leveling stuff. And surprisingly, that includes leveling up classifieds. I don't think leveling up classifieds or unboxing classifieds will ever be a requirement for a task in Go Simulator. It's just not something that works in the game design of it. Alright, auto delete commons enabled. Auto clicker, close my entire windows. Yeah, Divines actually take more XP is the funny thing. And then use a loot gum. Or a lucky gum. But yeah, as I said, this will probably burn through almost all of our gems just to get one godly. Alright, now it's starting to take a little bit absurdly long. Alright, we should get it there. Yeah, that was one of the things I've been thinking about, is changing it from level up pet X pet to X amount to just get pet XP. I don't know how easy that will be, but it is an idea I've had floating around. There we go. Literally took all our gems. But yeah, now we have a godly, so we are done with that quest. There we go, finally. Yeah, a single bubbles. Trolling, honestly. Alright. Okay, it's only level 2, so that should make it a little bit better. The thing is here, I'm actually curious if, we have anything closer. No, that's all our level 1s. We have nothing level 1 plus. Cool. Alright. With that, let's go ahead and equip the bubble we just got. And get 200 pet XP. I think there's a quest to get a godly pet to level 4. Yeah, that's actually, Jillian is actually the funny thing. If you look at it, the requirements for Willin is actually a little bit less in terms of pet leveling. So, it does make it a little bit better. But yeah, I believe the next quest is any pet up to level 10, and then it'll be, any complete the index, which will have instant completed. So, I guess I should probably go take a quick look to see if I should be leveling any pet up while I level up the bubbles. Since I don't know where I'm at level-wise. Yeah, I think both these boos are level... Nope, both those boos are level 12. This boo is probably level 10. Clover, level 10, level 10, level 9, level 9. Okay, I think how much XP? Yeah, no, it's gonna be better for us to just level up a common. Except we don't have a common because someone deleted them all 5 seconds ago. Yeah, okay. This will take a little bit of time. It'll probably take us around 10 minutes for both these two quests, and then we should be done and moving on to Agent Blaze. That being said, I think once we start Agent Blaze, we'll spend around 30 minutes on his quest. That should be enough for us to get all the way done with Ghost, or all the way done with Main Hub up till the Ghost World part of his quest line. Maybe even a little bit more. Ooh. No, definitely not any more than that. And so next episode, we should probably take around an hour, I think, to get the rest of him done, including the final boss and whatever. And yeah, and then after that hour, we can move on 30 minutes in Void, and then we're done with that, and we'll be able to spend the next hour and 30 minutes in the Remnant Zone. So next week, I do definitely plan on moving into Remnant Zone. We do have quite a bit more grinding that we're doing today, though. We have about another 50 minutes I want to do for the 3-hour mark that I like to do for these streams, but yeah. Oh yeah, no, I have, that happens I think to everyone. The worst is when you're going up and you try to take another step, I think. Like when you're stepping down and you just find not another step, it is disorientating. But going up, because you've tried to put your weight on it, is the thing. And so you're consciously letting your weight off of your other one. And you just get, so it's so weird. I guess that's more of like expecting a second step, not really missing a step. The thing about missing steps is I sometimes do it on purpose, in the dark too. So, yeah. Actually, when it comes to it, I am really loud when it comes to going up and down. Actually, walking in general, I'm really loud. It's apparently a big issue, especially when I'm awake in like the middle of the night or whatever. But like I walk downstairs like super loudly or whatever. It's I don't know why. I don't consciously do it on purpose, and I'm not aware of it myself. But people tell me that when I walk up and down the stairs, they can hear me from way further than they should. But yeah, so you know. That being said, I'll go up and down, running up and down basically stairs and tripping downstairs, you know, all the lovely stuff. I haven't hurt myself too badly ever with that, but yeah, it's going to happen eventually. Anyways, how are we looking on Pet XP? You're at level 6. You're at level 1 with 40 XP to go. Okay. But yeah, I feel like that happens to everyone. I know the missing at like the top or the bottom, thinking that there's additional stuff happens quite frequently. Missing a step happens less often, I feel like, but it's definitely more painful when it does happen. Especially if you like graze it or whatever, graze the stair with like your heel or whatnot. And it just hurts too. Yeah, for the longest time in our house, we had carpet stairs, actually. So, like, carpet stairs, you get more grip. You can pretty much walk barefoot, whatever. Socks, whatever. Recently, we switched over to wood, and it was a weird transition period, because, like, if you're walking with socks on those, you are slipping somewhere. So it took a while to, like, walk more carefully now that you have wood or whatever. So I'm kind of curious what you guys have from your stairs, like, if you guys have stairs. I know some houses don't necessarily have stairs. Like, wood is it's a lot slippier, and like, if it gets worn down, it can be even more slippy. And then it also doesn't have the comfort of like carpet or whatever, but it definitely looks better as wood. But yeah, I don't know. What do you guys have in your houses on that? And or do you prefer if you have the other one? Alright, where are we looking on Pet XP? I believe we should be still at level 6. We're almost at level 7. Alright, that should be level 7. This should get us up to level 8, and then just a little jaunt to level 10. Now this won't even get us up to level 8. Alright, that should be enough for the XP from that boss, so we'll go ahead and leave it as is. And where's Anomaly? Okay, Anomaly is probably in Barn this time. That being said, our pack is about to get emptied because of Anonymous getting defeated. About now. It is. But we'll go ahead and check on Anomaly really quick first, just to make sure it is where I think it is. It is not, so... Level 8. Oh, it's right there. Okay, we should hopefully, once we're done with this boss, be able to get up to level 10, and then we can start working on Blaze. I think the thing for Blaze that I just realized is we do need some pets to level up to level 5. So we will need to do a tad bit of No, we need to unbox some pets anyways. We'll be able to get some when we need to unbox in Main Hub. That being said, we do need a few more gems just so that we can go ahead and unbox, because we did use all of our gems getting a single godly, which was kind of expected. But yeah. Alright, that should be level 9. About like 100 more pets, or 100 more ghosts to get up to level 10. Okay, I guess I should probably start talking about something. One of the funny things about like game development is that sometimes like game design like overrides some other like you'd think more important things. Okay, I guess I should like sometimes it's more important for the game design to be intuitive for the players to understand than it is for like it to be easy or to make sense for like endgame people. I think an example of this is like the okay, I lost my train of thought. Oh, but like progression, for instance. Even though like right now progression like it's kind of makes sense for a lot of people, there's still some really weird or like for like endgame people understand it all. For new players, it's actually kind of difficult to figure out how to grind gems. You'll see a lot of people asking, "What rebirth perk do I pick? What? How do I grind gems? How do I get gum?" Even though all this stuff is kind of like really good for endgame people, like the fact that new players don't actually understand is like one of the things that probably should be addressed. Like it should probably be made easier to figure out how to get gum. In large quantities gum. It should probably be made easier to figure out how to grind gems. I think like one of the things about Yoko with that is that having all the bosses be 7, 7, and then 7 for each of the milestones instead of 7, 5, 5. Even though it's like bad, as in it makes rebirths longer, even though it was just balanced out, so it's kind of fair at the moment. The fact that it's now 7 bosses across the board is actually very nice in terms of game design, because players are like, oh yeah, this isn't a difficulty curve. This is literally just a similar quest at each milestone of the thing. And it's like, new players, they're going to see 7 bosses, 7 bosses, 7 bosses, and they're going to be like, fine, that's cool. Whereas where it is right where it was before, where it was 7, 5, 5, it was kind of like, why did I have to do this many bosses up front? Why does it get easier? So, you know, as cool as it is, it's unfortunately probably going to be broken when I start messing around with more rebirth stuff. Like one of the things I want to do is balance how items are at some point, which is a big one since that's nerfing game passes and whatnot, so not going to happen for a while. But it would make Backdoor more difficult to get through, and therefore require me to remove probably a few bosses to keep rebirths at a similar time as they are right now. But yeah. Hello, Ian. I hope you're Ian. I know you told me your name at some point. I think it's Ian, but I might be wrong with that, and I'm sorry if I am. Honestly, I probably should have just stuck with Ian and not said any of that. Anyways, yeah, we're moving on to Blaze already. So we have about 35 minutes left for Blaze. I believe this is the last quest we have in Backdoor, Ghost World, and main hub. So, yeah. Bingo. Okay, good. Oh. Yeah, I am horrible with names, so most of the time I'll just get it wrong. Anyways, yeah, we will be doing, I think everyone knows how Blaze works. It's going to be looking very similar to that. The one thing is I don't know if we have the enough items for it all. So we might need to go ahead and grab items specifically for this quest at some point, which is going to be kind of obnoxious. But for the most part, it should be fine. I think I've done enough grinding with all the different NPCs. I should have all the items I need. The one exception might be those quests that like that take items, like the second arc quests. So those might have taken more items than I had, than they required for like ghost grinding. Okay, this is worse than before. What I thought I fixed this. Maybe it's just the high ping I'm getting right now or whatever. Are you ever going to add a rebirth requirements tab? Just for the items needed so we can track them in game? No. It's so arbitrary. Maybe at some point I might add like the self tracking of items or whatnot, but at the same point, it's one of those things it's actually a lot of work to add like user input into a game that doesn't break stuff. Like really difficult. So yeah, at some point I might add that where you can see like how many items you have of a certain kind, like with the track or whatever. That's the closest you guys are getting. I'm not going to be, like hard code anything where it's like, oh yeah, these are the items you're going to need for the quest that you have to do to rebirth. It's a bit arbitrary. As in like, why specifically those ones are required for rebirthing? Why are you displaying that sort of stuff? Like, why not include other NPCs in that? It's just one of those things where it's doesn't make sense to do that specifically, but it does make sense to maybe at some point give people the option to like track certain items, like 5 or 6 or whatever. I don't think I'm going to be doing that, but that's like the one thing that I could see actually happening in a similar vein to that. Again, not happening anytime soon. It's just... if I was going to do something, that's what it would be. Okay, yeah, this is broken. Oh, I'm so sorry. I thought I fixed that last update. I'll look into it more. I think the biggest issue with that is I have to now wait for settings to load because it has all of the sort settings that are saved. I think that's like the biggest thing why it's not working correctly. Actually, what do we need? We need to go burn some items at the incinerator. Is Rem Zone best for grinding gems? Yes. It's actually pretty close between Remnant Zone and Backdoor. But both of those two will serve as the best ways to go ahead and grind gems. With the strategy being grinding ghosts, selling the ghosts with X-Gum, preferably glitchy or unenchanted, and then converting the currency you get from those into gems. The issue with Rem Zone is that you do need a lot more setup for Remnant Zone grinding, where you do need to max out your Remnant Zone pack, Remnant Zone, yeah, just pack. Whereas with Backdoor, you can actually easily get the Void set to be able to have the max pack for grinding in it. And then there's also not a teleporter in Remnant Zone yet. There will be one in the future, just not yet. It's so nice actually having the jetpack, to be honest. Like, jetpack in heavy armor are like some of the perks I miss the most after I rebirth. It's just kind of nice to actually have them for once in a run. Will there be a third arc? Yeah. I mean, when you look at it, arcs of the game are just kind of the storyline. Second arc is eventually going to end. Like, they have set up, the old developers set up the thing, so dominoes are eventually going to fall. It's going to end. They have a pretty clear mind for that. I don't know how soon it will be. Like, right now I'm looking at it. New developers. I think I said this earlier, but it's going to be next update's a small update to the game, and then the next 2 updates after that will be Easter updates. So it might be a while before we actually get any continuation of second arc. And it'll definitely be a long time before we get a third arc. And so no one's really thought about what we're doing third arc yet. So I think I can tell you guys that. I don't think that's a huge developer. Oh yeah, you shouldn't spoil third arc lore. And when it does come to third arc lore, I'm not going to be leading that. That's more of creative lead stuff. I mean, I will get a say in that, and I probably will have a say in that. But I'm not going to be the main person coming up with that. So that'll probably be a good thing for the rest of you guys. You guys know how creative I am. Yeah. So it'll probably be a good thing that multiple people are going to have a say on third arc. Not just me or whatever. So yeah. But and when will the next second arc big thing be? I don't know. Honestly, at least after Easter is like the soonest I would expect it. I mean, maybe next update we have something planned and I just can't remember. But yeah. Second arc is one of those things where it was something that older devs planned. Oh, we have an anomaly. We should go find that. So the fact that new devs are working on it is kind of a little bit weird in terms of story, since you are taking over someone else's creative story. Like making sure to do them justice, following what they have planned out somewhat. So I don't know. But will there ever be more rebirth perks? Yes. Yes, there will 100% be more rebirth perks. I think this is one I've said on stream before. I'm not 100% sure on when I'm adding it, but it will be added at some point. Probably after I rebalance gems and all that stuff again. So, like, you know, months out. But a rebirth perk that allows you to mass unbox has been something I wanted to add. Removing the ability to mass unbox with auto clickers, and making auto unbox useful, all that fun stuff. I kind of want to do, because that I think is a really easy perk idea, for like just me to add, where it doesn't require any like realistic input from other people. I mean, I think it would require commissioning art for the actual like unboxing, but yeah. There's a few other rebirth perk ideas I've had in the past that I think could be cool if we added them, but they do require a little bit more work for everyone involved and might not be as cool as I think they would be in the game. But yeah. I'm only on my first rebirth. Yes, most people in Ghost Simulator don't rebirth, and they don't rebirth multiple times. Like, endgame grinding for rebirth is so obnoxiously long that it's only really like the most devoted of devoted players. So I feel like at some point one of the things I want to do is balance out the game so that people who aren't planning on rebirthing a billion times have something that they can do that's fairly obvious for them to do. I mean, there's stuff like you can grind currencies for the like unlockable boards. I think that's something that's actually pretty easy for people to do. That gives them a pretty good pretty good fun progression point. But it's also not the not like everything that there should be. There should be a little bit more in terms of like pet stats that you can grind before like rebirthing or whatever. But yeah, when will you be streaming the realm? I don't know. I don't actually have plans for that yet. What I really need to do is actually get a video out on something, like literally anything. I probably won't happen anytime soon. But anyways, yeah, Realm stream. I don't know. I can't. I don't think it'll be later this week. It's just sometimes hard for me to stream on that Realm when like 2 people show up. I know it's fun for those 2 people, and I know I have fun myself, but especially like sometimes development stuff will take priority now. So yeah. Actually that's a cool best roll. I just enjoy watching and chilling on the Realm while doing nothing. Yeah. Honestly, that Realm it's probably the best Realm I've had for a while. But yeah, it's definitely Minecraft does get boring after a certain time in the same world. Especially if you're as uncreative as I am when it comes to stuff. Honestly, I do need to finish my house at some point. I think that's a pretty simple thing for me to go ahead and do, but yeah. Looks like we need a lot of items for this quest. Fortunately, it should be pretty fast. If you guys don't know, in the last update, I did buff like literally, okay, all but one of the item drops like 1.5 to 2x. So it'll take like quite literally like 1 or 2 minutes to actually do all of these items, even though they're some of the more annoying items to get in the game. All right, 20 more minutes. I think 20 more minutes should be enough for us to go ahead and complete the main hub part of. Yeah, I think 20 minutes should be enough to complete the main hub part of. Blaze's quest, so we should be pretty good. Alright. There we are. So many people in here, like really does get crowded down here, I think, progression wise. Okay, there we are. Sorry guys, we're done now. But yeah. Oh, this is really bad. I thought I made it better in the last update, not worse. Could you make gem bonus to go with the number of friends to 3 friends? Okay, the thing I don't want about the friend bonus is it becoming an alt bonus. That's the one thing you have to like keep in mind with some of this stuff. I think that same thing also applies for were we Fern for a second? Same thing also applies with like codes and stuff items. You can't make code items tradable, otherwise people will alt for them. So like ghost loot bags, for instance, that's a code item. If we make this stuff from them tradable, like too much of it, it becomes one of those things that people just unbox alts for. Like people already do that for the classified of it, I'm sure, but actually there's no classified in the ghost loot bag. Never mind. But yeah, for the streak loot bag, people are already making alts. Yeah, you have to keep that in mind when you do stuff. Maybe I think the thing is, oh sorry, well that's obby, not the ring. But yeah, maybe at some point, it's just I don't want to be it who can join 10 alts in a server to get themselves the maximum luck boost or gem boost or whatever. So yeah. Alts and tradable items are something you need to avoid as much as possible. Because as cool as it is for other people to be like, oh yeah, I can trade this item I just got. There's going to be someone, if something's tradable with a code, that will take 100 of those items and get those 100 items and then turn them and just have them in their inventory because they can. And most of the time this isn't too much of an issue. Like Ghost Sim, like for instance, no one actually cares about trading item value for codes. But it's one of those things that's like weird in a game to have. So avoiding it as much as possible of having alt potential for a game is I think a good idea. Interesting, that time it loaded quick. Back then I made 10 alts for every code pet. Oh my goodness. Yeah, it's something people do. Like, it doesn't actually affect the game as much as I think developers think it does. But it's still something that you don't want to encourage. Like, I think some alt grinding is fine. It's just when it becomes, oh, who can alt the most for the most rewards? Yeah, people start to get upset. I think right now Ghost Sim's in a fine spot in terms of grinding. I know there are some people that do have 10 alts, big 10-4. But like the amount that it actually helps them versus how much it costs, it's not actually, I think, as good as people make it out to be. Because like, yeah, cool, you're getting 5x drops, but you also have to spend like 5x more money on Game Pass and stuff. So yeah. Remember when people made alt-Instagram leaderboards? No, actually, I don't think so. I don't think it... Actually, no. Yeah, I guess it was helpful for boss hopping. People had alts for that. Yeah, I don't think it was ever a huge deal for leaderboard thing. I guess arguably it was. Oh, okay. Someone just pointed out that there said something about testing a controller for a critical bug, and I had minor flashbacks, but they like immediately said afterwards for Sentinel, and it was like, okay, it wasn't Ghost Sim this time, because last update that I did, or last update, like this Friday or whatever, I accidentally made it so that controllers weren't able to talk to NPCs, which is like a critical bad bug to have in the game. And so I had some panic attacks last update, like not panic attacks, but like I was panicking a little bit because I added a few bugs more than I should have, and it was literally like 3 typos for all of them. But fixing those 3 typos was not as easy as you'd think. But yeah, no. For anyone wondering, 4 patch notes for the last update. It was not a great time. Honestly, it was literally the same 3 bugs over it. One of them was I typoed unlock hoverboards. I typoed board unlocks as hoverboard unlocks. And then also, instead of making it Adam's Quest, made it Dylan's Quest on accident because they are pretty similar, pretty close IDs. One is 2, one is 3. And then that was like the big one for hoverboards not working for players. And then I had a small thing where I wasn't actually giving people the hoverboard properly, like the basic hoverboard, which has been fixed. And then the last one was when I added the mobile tapping to like make dialogue faster, which everyone likes, I think, across the board. I accidentally added the wrong logic there where it ended up having the controller, every time you try to talk to an NPC, it would think that you're just trying to skip dialogue, because I structured the OR incorrectly. I had the wrong brackets, order of operations for the logic of it. So it ended up always thinking, hey, you're trying to skip dialogue. You don't want to talk to this NPC. And so, yeah, fixing that was definitely a priority since it made controller players unable to do anything, which is not good when you have a whole section of your players with something completely bricked. But yeah. That's the reason why the top 2 are where they're at right now. I don't think it's the whole reason the top 2 are where they're at right now. They're also devoted grinders. I mean, it's not like they were abusing anything. Like, having alts for it, yeah, it's kind of annoying for people, but it is... Yeah, it's not really something that you can prevent, so it's gonna be fine. I'm gonna make my own survival world and see how long it takes me to give me burnout. Yeah, good luck with that. Alright. Oh yeah, for anyone wondering right now, I'm not using loot gum. These item drops literally got this massively buffed. I probably should have not made it this overpowered, but I feel like it actually needed this, so yeah, and like looking at it now, it's like, oh yeah, maybe this might be a little bit too many items, and then I realized how much each of these items are necessary for progression. I realized, nope, might not even be enough. But yeah, I'd guess it takes like around, it depends really on your own like personal experience, what you're doing in the world. But it'd probably take 2 to 3 weeks before burnout actually hits for something new. I mean, that's generally how long my survival series lasts, or my realms last before they end up getting 0 plays by myself. But yeah. Alright, beach shall be. Alright, 7 more minutes. I think we are going to be right on dot to finish up main hub part of Blaze for this stream. As I've said before, next stream we are going to be moving into Remnant Zone. And then after that, yeah, next episode we will be moving into Remnant Zone, and then from there on out it will be just Remnant Zone. Oh, that's not what I need. I'd imagine it's going to take around 5 episodes to get through Remnant Zone. But whatever it is, it will still be faster pretty much no matter what than the first time playing through this game. So yeah. Hello. Alright, I think this quest is the one where we have to go into the hidden room for Lena's key. So we should be fine. And I think that's the last quest for main hub. Alright, I think that'll be it for today's stream. But as much as I was expecting to get done, it's definitely nice to know, though, that my guesses on like how long stuff will take is actually pretty accurate in this game. Like, a lot of the time I come into these streams and I'm like, okay, this is probably what I'm going to get done. And it can sometimes be very wildly off. But like for Backdoor, it's actually pretty consistent on what I get. I get what I expect to get done in an episode. So, at least for now, while I'm still playing the game, you know, once I start becoming the developer that doesn't actually play the game anymore, the game's going to start going downhill really fast because I'm going to start adding stuff that I think sounds cool, and is going to be actually horrendous for the actual gameplay. But until that happens, it should be good for the game development. Anyways, thank you guys for coming down. I do plan on hopefully making at least one video this week. I don't know what it'll be on. It might be the Minecraft Realm video I've been working on for the last month, or it might be something stupid for Ghost Simulator. We'll see. Maybe I'll get creative and do something else for some other game, but honestly, only time will tell. I might not even make a video. I might be getting super lazy. But yeah, I'll see you guys hopefully at least next week for another hard mode stream, where I hopefully enter into Remnant Zone. And yeah, bye. Thank you guys for coming out.